Welcome back to Two for Classics. My name is Sam.
Hey, my name is Liana.
And this week we watched Marty.
Yes, Marty is a romantic movie drama, to put it that way. It was released by United Artists in 1955 in the US. And this movie is about 93 minutes. Yeah. Did you think it was kind of long?
I thought it was kind of short, so that 93 minutes seems about right.
Anyway, Delbert Mann is the director, and he actually won an Oscar for this movie.
Did he?
This was his directorial debut.
Oh, you win an Oscar on your first movie? Wow.
Wow. And the movie won an Academy Award and a Cannes Film Festival Award, which only 4 other movies have won.
I mean, if that's your first movie already, how are you going to follow that up?
No, he did pretty good actually after.
Really?
He directed. He was really, really good. He died in 2007, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it was produced by Harold Heck, and now we're moving on to the cast. Usually, I only discuss the 2 main characters in the movies that we watch, but for this movie, I'm gonna mention a couple more, just because they just play a very important role as far as we get to know a little bit more of the character Marty through knowing a little bit more of the friends and family that are around him.
I'm pretty sure I know which characters you're gonna go with, because they do play a big role in moving the plot along and about what he's facing. So
yes, so Marty was played by Ernest Borgnine.
We had trouble trying to figure out how to say that name.
But I think we finally got it.
I think we did.
Claire Snyder is played by Betsy Blair.
Mm-hmm.
Teresa Pileri is played by Esther Miniciotti.
That's the mom.
Aunt Catherine is played by Augusta Cioli. Angie, which is Marty's best friend, is played by Joe Mantell. And Virginia is played by Karen Steele. Oh yeah, one more.
Wait,
we have
who's Virginia?
Tommy, played by Jerry Paris. Virginia, she's Aunt Catherine's daughter-in-law.
Okay.
Yeah. And Tommy is Aunt's son.
Then the cousin.
Marty's cousin, yes.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about it, Sam.
Oh, the summary. So, as always for episode 1, we kind of give a summary that is not too spoilery. We try to avoid the spoilers for the movie because we do want you to see it.
Spoilery, is that a word?
It is now. I'm making it a word. But we definitely don't want to spoil it because we want to encourage people to watch the movie. And then we'll talk more in depth in the second part.
In part 2, yes.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and do this. Marty Piletti, at the ripe age of 34, finds himself in a predicament. He has not found a wife yet. With neighbors, customers, and family hounding him to put himself out there again, he makes his way to the Starlight Ballroom. There he encounters a woman, Claire Snyder, not only abandoned by her date, but also being pawned off to any willing guy by said date. Marty becomes her shoulder to cry on, literally, and this leads to a new budding relationship between the two.
Nice.
Now, this is, I know it's a romantic comedy. It's a romantic drama, but it's kind of a comedy. I'm sorry. I laughed a lot.
It's both. It really is both. Because you have those moments of, you're right. It's funny. The characters say funny stuff, and they're all really good at it. But at the same time, you kind of have sad moments, and I mean sad by not you're gonna be weeping, sad, but
you feel some compassion for the character,
especially for Claire. Me, it was for Claire.
Yeah.
So this movie was adapted from a TV drama in the 1950s, because this movie was released in 1955, but the TV show was in 1953.
2 years earlier.
2 years earlier, and actually, some of the actors were picked up when the movie was made, But the main character,
Marty and Claire.
the actor who played Marty in the TV show, did not move on to play
Claire also, right? That's a different actress.
It was a different, yeah.
Yeah.
But the main character did not move on to play the main role in the motion picture. It was done by Ernest Borgnine. And, it's just one of those things that it just had to happen that way because Ernest Borgnine won an Oscar for this.
He did a lot of, he did really well, I will say that. We actually, when we finished watching the movie, and I'm not trying to be mean to Ernest Borgnine, I think he has already passed away, so rest his soul.
Yeah, he passed away.
Right. He is one of those people, one of those men that looks very weathered by life.
Yes.
And when we looked at his IMDb kind of situation, his whole career, and he played a lot of military roles.
Yes.
And it does fit his look. So he's in the movie, he's supposed to be 34. And it does not look like today's 34. Remember, this is back in the day and all that.
But he always looked that way. He looked old.
Yeah, he looked old always. So he said, "I'm 34."
He's a great actor. Just so many movies.
A lot of military.
But in one of the very recognized roles that he was in which a lot of people are gonna recognize this title, a movie called From Here to Eternity. He played a military man then.
Yeah, so it does fit his role. Marty also himself has a poor self-esteem. He talks about how he thinks he's ugly and how nobody wants him because of that. And he also makes fun of his build. He's a stocky guy. He's not your typical, leading man, right?
Yeah.
But he does an amazing job. And that plays into what Claire does, who also has a very poor self-esteem. She's very kind of meek and dowdy, and she's also has had people kind of brush her off.
But, as far as the Marty character,
yeah,
that's what I said about the characters that I was going to mention, the other actresses, because you start to understand why Marty is the way he is. Because of his mom and the aunt and the cousin and his best friends and his friends, pretty much.
I think his friends play a very heavy role in that, where you see his friends are kind of just they have their jobs and then they all go to the bar at the end of the day. They're regulars because everybody knows each other. And I don't know if we mentioned this. It is supposed to be like Bronx, New York.
Yeah.
Right? But they're just kind of happy with where they are in life. And that's it. They're all unmarried. Yeah. They're all they can get a date and go with a girl for a day. And then they move on. They don't really have any plans at a future.
But we see that Marty doesn't want that for himself. He wants something more.
Well, I think that by the time that we meet Marty, he's kind of gotten to a point where he's tired of being rejected.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not really helping his case.
No, because again, we see friends and family sort of edging him on where are you in life as far as you haven't settled, you haven't found a wife, and that's all they are worried about him. So they make him feel like you are getting old, you're not married, you don't have kids, and I think that plays a sort of is a negative impact, to him. Like, you start to see where, what, I'm just going to give up. This is not going to happen for me.
Yeah. So much so that the mom is concerned about him that she asked the cousin, where can Marty meet a girl?
Yeah.
Remember the Starlight Ballroom full of tomatoes.
We can discuss that later.
We can discuss the tomatoes.
So what do you think that the pace of the movie so far?
It was very fast. I thought the movie was very fast. I know that we kept stopping, but it kind of just was there and it was done.
That I think I see why this movie won so many awards is because one of the things is before we realized it, time had gone by.
You're
almost a little disappointed the movie was over.
Yeah.
Because it was that entertaining. Marty meets Claire at what would be a nightclub now, right? sort of thing.
Kind of. It's a ball. So at the
It's
time,
a place where people go dance.
People would dance.
Meet other people.
There's refreshments. Yeah. And it's more of like people are just, because nowadays there wasn't apps. And
so they meet there.
Stuff. Yeah.
And they start a relationship.
So Marty gets mad at his mom because she tells him, go out, right? Put on a blue suit and go out. And he's like, fine. And he gets mad and angry. And he says, fine, I'll go do it. And I'm going to get rejected again. And I'm going to be sad. But I'm going to do it for you, Mom. Right? Trying to blame her.
Yeah.
So he takes his best friend, Angie, and they go to the ballroom. And while they're there, Angie just leaves.
Takes off.
He takes off. He finds a girl and he starts dancing. Marty's kind of there. He tries to go up to a girl and she rejects him. So he says, all right, whatever. I'm just going to stand here for the rest of the night.
And then on the other side of the room, a different story is playing with Claire.
So Claire's best friend, we think, already has a guy. Who has brought another guy.
To set her up with Claire.
To set her up. And at the very beginning, the first thing you hear about Claire is that this guy is saying, my gosh, like she's basically saying she's ugly.
Yeah. So the other guy that was brought to that is not happy. He's disappointed that because Claire is not good looking. Is what he's saying. So he kind of is already disengaged.
Yeah.
He's already made the decision, this is not going to be for me. Because even when they're looking for a table, you can already see he's looking around.
Yeah, but
and
even
then he happens to see somebody that he knows,
when
like
they
another
first
girl.
Arrive, he sees the girl that when she walks into frame, oh my goodness, brings all the energy into the room.
Yeah,
and he goes, "Oh, I know this person," and,
they kind of exchange a few words.
Yeah,
and you can tell that he's interested in this other girl that he just
saw.
Than Claire. I mean, he doesn't even look at Claire.
Yeah. So he's trying to pawn her off because he feels some level.
So they get into the club or the ballroom.
And he leaves. And what he actually goes to do is find another sad sap that's standing by himself to try and pay them. He's saying, if I pay you this money, will you take this?
And this happens to be Marty.
Yeah. He goes to Marty first. Marty says no because he has morals.
He has morals. Okay. Yes.
And then Marty sees him because he clocks that it's a little bit weird. Marty sees him go over to another guy and pay him, and then they both walk over to the girl. And Marty goes following them. And Claire, you have to give credit to Claire there. She doesn't fall for it. She says no.
Again, because I think even though she has a low self-esteem, she respects herself.
Yeah.
And also you see that about Marty. They're both people that respect themselves. They respect others. They have high morals. And I think also that's what they find each other because they seem to have a lot of things in common that way. You can tell that she rejects that idea. She's like, no, you're not going to pawn me off to somebody else. But then she feels so bad. She goes outside and starts crying. And then we have Marty, sees this whole thing play out. He follows her and tries to, kind of
talk to her and ends up being his literal shoulder.
One thing that I noticed that I found very interesting is when the writing came in here was what he says to her is, we're both ugly people.
He tells her that at one point.
With both when I first saw that, I heard that in the movie, I'm like, that's kind of messed up on Marty, but then you start to understand why he said it.
Yeah.
Because telling her, oh, you're don't believe that guy, you're good looking, will be insulting her intelligence. Right? She knows she's not. So why would he be saying that?
And to be fair,
so what he does, he brings himself to the level of we both ugly.
Yeah.
But we found each other. We're here, are in the balcony together.
Yeah. But to be fair,
that's a sweet moment.
It is, but to be fair to the actress, she isn't a bad-looking actress. We've talked about Ernest Borgnine already, that he's a weather-looking guy. But she herself, it's one of those things where this person isn't your Marilyn Monroe's or other kind of grand beauty of the times. But she's not a bad-looking woman. And a lot of it has to do with makeup, hair, and wardrobe. her wardrobe's a little dowdy. Her hair is a little kind of flat.
But this is what we were saying when we were watching the movie, is that what a wonderful actress she was.
Yes.
Because when we first see her, you look at her and her demeanor and you like, no, this is not a good looking one.
Yeah.
And from in today's time, she would be considered like a 3. Let's just say that. No.
Come on.
Oh, what do you say?
Like a 4.
Okay, well, one point. Yeah. But then we realize what it is, because when she starts to get to know Marty and they start to know each other,
and opens
you
up,
see the change in her.
Yes.
She actually looks prettier.
Yes.
But we realize it is not that she physically is not attractive. It's the way she carries herself.
Mm-hmm.
It's that, you know, and I think that's where she was such wonderful. She did such a wonderful job, because she actually convinced me that she was ugly. And then as time went by and, you know, her and Marty got to know each other, and she felt happy and she felt joy that somebody actually liked her. She physically actually looked different.
It was fantastic acting on her part.
Yeah, she looked attractive. You know, she had like a sprint in her walk, and her shoulders were up, and she was talking, and she was laughing more than anything. She was laughing and she was enjoying herself. And then we realized that they're both very smart people.
Oh yeah, both of them.
You know,
she's a teacher.
She's a teacher, and she has plans for her life too.
Yeah,
I think she got a new job in New York. You were right. They live in the Bronx, and I think she has this new job that was offered in New York, and more money, of course.
I think like in a different borough, but she would have to travel quite a bit for the job.
We both see how you know, her and Marty start talking about future plans, what they want for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And that has to do. Again, we talked about how the pacing in the movie is. It's short. We really only get to see. And you will if you watch the movie, which we do recommend. It's not that long. It goes by real fast. And it's something that I think everybody can relate to.
You know what? I'm going to say this. I think even though this movie was released in 1955, I think this is a really good movie now for people who are unmarried.
Surprisingly, yes, I think so. She's supposed to be 29, right?
I'm not going to say teenagers, but I'm going to say young people.
What is young?
I'm going to say from 18 to maybe
18
to maybe 35.
I would say more of like 25 to 35.
Okay, let's just people who are already thinking about finding somebody to settle with. This is a movie that I would say helps you to understand what happens when you have the pressure of society, friends and family. And then also that it's important to listen to yourself.
Yeah.
And what you want for yourself.
Neither of them compromised on what they wanted.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
And they weren't looking for, again, beauty and whatever. They were looking for substance.
Yes.
And they found it in each other. And that's something that I agree with you that is very, I think, important even today.
Yeah, so this is a movie for everybody.
Yeah,
especially single people.
I mean,
and you'll get a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
But also I think big lessons. It's not that you're gonna watch a movie for that, but yeah, you always get something out of a movie. The
one thing I will say though is that some of the terminology is like,
and we can discuss it in part 2.
We can discuss that in part 2.
And we want to say thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. If you haven't,
or even listening,
please subscribe. And hopefully, we keep you entertained. But mostly, if you go and watch the movie, if you can, it's a great movie, and then we can discuss.
Yeah, come back for part 2. We'll kind of get into finer details in the second half. More spoilers for that. But yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah,
and we'll see you in the second part.
Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.